Sunday statement draft, and guess what? First pick. I've already tipped the pick like Chris Berman used to do.
Well, I'm going with it.
People may love this.
Love it. But we were in commercial break, and I was like, well, I said it out loud. I'm going to take Jordan Love. I mean, that was a statement. I mean, first off, the amount of pressure, the situation Jordan Love's been in, right? Taking over for Aaron Rodgers, starting a new era. Oh, wait. Our best receiver, Christian Watson's not going to play on the road in Chicago. Uh-oh, all of that. You know, it got off to a little bit of a bumpy start. Like, it wasn't smooth and all roses and smelling good. But it was like he didn't look out of place. He didn't look flustered. And you see here in the pocket, I mean, he made some big throws down the field. 15 completions for 245, right? What is that? It's like 16 yards per completion, something around that range there. I mean, that's what I loved about Jordan Love. I think that's the new element that we could see with them. I think he might push the ball down the field more than we saw Rodgers and them do. But both touchdown passes were really good. And got to give Aaron Jones some love, too. I know he pulled his hamstring. I hope he's okay because he made some huge plays in the game.
He ran down the sideline pretty aggressively for one of the touchdown celebrations.
The screen, and then he had
But I'm saying after he was injured, so it may not be that bad
Good.
because he was able to move.
Good. I didn't know
when he
that.
Needed to. Yeah.
That's good to hear. Good for Jordan Love.
All right. This is one of the games we disagreed on, and you were right and I was wrong. The Raiders beat the Broncos, and I'm going to go with not Jimmy Garoppolo, but Jacoby Myers. And this was one of those names that was kind of buzzing, like, hey, maybe you want to grab him for your fantasy team. He might do all right. He had a couple of touchdowns and 81 receiving yards, and he's the best option they currently have, not named Devontae Adams. But when everyone is going to try to take away Devontae Adams, what does that do? And you know, we were talking during the break, and you said they were surprised that they got him for what they got him in free agency.
Yep.
And anytime you get a couple of touchdowns week one, even though he didn't get over 100 receiving yards, Jacoby Myers, a guy that's going to help the Raiders maybe be more competitive than I thought they were going to be, but also Jimmy Garoppolo. It looked like he got banged up early, but kept going and had a big day, and the Raiders stole one from Denver on a day where I'm Sean Payton probably livid that they lost that game.
A little bit like the Vikings game where Russell Wilson, the offense looked really good. And then in the second half, the Raiders kind of shut them down, and they could not get anything going. I worry about the Broncos' lack of firepower at receiver as well. The only guy that really is scary at all is Courtland Sutton, right? And the Raiders are really well coached, and their offense, I think, is something you got to watch out for. Those receivers you talked about, they got a good tight end. They got one of the best running backs in football, and they have a mammoth offensive line. They're one of these teams that can upset some things here in the AFC as we go forward. And Garoppolo, yeah, good for him getting that big job there.
All right, who else you got?
Win. My next one, who was I going to go with here? I didn't want to do I had something else that I wanted to do. What was my off the? Oh, I was going to go with this.
The Vikings and let the clock
I want to go
on
with
your
the
pick?
Browns. I was going to go with the Browns with the statement. I know we talked about
The Browns
them already.
is the Browns.
Well, the Browns, I didn't expect them to look like that. And they made a statement from this standpoint that, one, hey, yeah, Deshaun Watson, and we didn't get to see his full self there in the wet rain, but they could still run the ball. Nick Chubb is still one of the best running backs in football. And then Jim Schwartz in that defense, it made me perk up a little bit. Listen, we know the 49ers made a statement and all that. The Browns, I didn't know what to expect from them, and they showed me a side where I went, ooh, that was very encouraging. Let's see if they can build on this and really be a force in the AFC.
We try to wedge in some games we hadn't talked about in this spot. I got to go all the way back to the beginning, though. What the Cowboys did to the defense
that was
last night.
amazing.
The statements don't get much louder than that. The Cowboys, in all phases, kicked the living stuffing out of the New York Giants. All right, Sunday statement draft. Again, we tried to get to some of the games we hadn't talked about. Round 3, give me somebody, regardless of whether we talked about it or not. I think we've managed to talk about every game.
I think we've hit everything.
In form or fashion.
Yeah.
Biggest statement that you saw other than the ones we've already
I'm going to go to the Dolphins offense and Tua and Tyreek, the TT combination. I mean, that was just, unbelievable. I just came up with that on the top of my head. TT, you like that? Okay.
Get yourself into trouble. All right.
All right. Of all the bad things I said, that's not that bad. But yeah, that just their offense, you think, oh, maybe the NFL defenses will get used to it a little bit, and they were just up and down the field, track meet all game long.
The 49ers, 49ers, your guy Kyle. Unbelievable what they did to go into Pittsburgh. The showing from the 49ers fans who took over the field formerly known as Heinz, and they beat the hell out of the Steelers.
Out-bullied the Steelers.
The worst home loss Mike Tomlin's ever suffered. At a time when, this is when the expectations are high for the Steelers, they underperform. When they're low, They overperform. And the problem for the Steelers, they started
got
creeping
high.
up.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe they shouldn't have been creeping up. Why were they creeping up?
Well, they're going to go back down
now. They got to rebuild it for next Monday night when the Browns come to town. I mean, all of a sudden, we got a great Monday night game tonight. Here's your Monday night preview. Bills-Jets. Who do you like tonight?
I'm taking the Jets. I just think that Jets D is real. I think we could see a performance of the Jets D like we saw from the 49ers or the Cowboys. Not that kind of blowout because Josh Allen's phenomenal. But
you know what? If
they're good.
You're going to see Stephon Diggs slamming helmets maybe.
Yeah.
That Jenga tower. The Bills are that
we'll
Jenga
see.
tower.
Good to see Rodgers.
Is it going to fall apart tonight? We'll
you like the
find
Jets?
out.
You're taking the Jets?
I like it at Jets.
I
don't like it at Kirk Cousins.
You like it at Aaron
Rodgers
Rodgers now.
Jets. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.